think I know what the problem is. Bro, the combo, yeah. This is nuts. I need to use a different weapon. The weapon I'm using isn't working.
Wait, is it taking pity on me? Is it literally like I've died so many times that they're just like, okay, bro, like you, all right.
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Wait, what?
Надо подождать. Мне нужна цель.
Ah, all right.
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
See, it's this fucking asshole here. This guy's causing me. Shit! Shit!
Эту способность. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Не могу добычу. Надо подождать.
Dog, dog, dog. Okay.
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Wait, I just realized the reason I'm losing to the other one, that's an elite boar.
Надо подождать. Я пока не могу.
Why the fuck is the boar on the roof?
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Okay, that's one down. Okay.
Сначала нужно выбрать цель.
Oh my god.
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
Okay. Fucking god, it's so big.
Надо подождать. Нужно подождать. Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
Shit!
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Fuck you, Mr. Boar. Suck my dick. Oh my god.
Help me.
Wow.
my god.
Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Или что с китами, что с дэмэджем, вот это полнина, пиздец, блядь, ну что она не дамажит? Кубок. А, символа на Его каунтинг.
Holy shit. Alright, we've got our last guy here. Let's do it.
Применить это заклинание.
Просто не каунтинг. Я не знаю, зачем я нажимаю на авто.
Надо подождать.
Правый. Так, просто попу не
Могу
заканчивал.
произнести это заклинание.
Alright, hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. My brain's fried. Yep, I'm fried. I can tell.
Надо подождать.
I gotta stop. We should break.
Я пока не
Save?
могу произнести это заклинание. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Have some rest. We gotta go lay down. You like the game? The game's fine. I just there are times where like I know that like my brain is like I don't know if
Пока
this
не
makes sense,
могу
right?
произнести это
But like it's just
заклинание.
not
Я не готова
like
применить это
making good
заклинание.
decisions. Yeah, it's like lagging. Yeah, it's like silly mistakes. Yeah, and I can tell like when I have this happen, I'm like, okay, all right, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Just take a break. Yeah. Only played for an hour. Yeah, I know.
What?
Let me see. Did I get anything else? Oh, fuck. I need to use this. This is way better. What the fuck? Why am I not using that? Yeah, brains on your drain. Yeah, I just I think I lost that. Yeah, we left for 7. Yeah, yeah. All right. Strategic fatigue. Yeah, maybe right. But anyway, guys. Yeah. How's the game? Game's fun. I just I don't know what this karma buff is. Yeah, it's just that too many things. Yeah, too many things. my brain's fried. Okay, guys. Yeah. Anyway, I will be back on. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I haven't decided. And yeah, I have no idea. Actually, I'm not even sure. Might play a new game. Might play more of this. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Anyway, until next time, gentlemen. Peace. See ya.
А я убил надзирателя. Какой с него кликанул?
Надо подождать. Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Не могу достать. Мне нужно подойти ближе. Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Я
Блять,
пока не
ёбаная
могу
нахуй.
произнести это заклинание. Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание. Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Мне нужна цель. могу произнести это заклинание. Надо подождать. Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
Один час, нихуя себе. О, боже. Чё хотя бы.
Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
И повадился политик.
And maybe we're close. We're getting words that things are going okay in Russia. And it doesn't mean anything until we hear what the final outcome is. But they have very serious discussions going on right now with President Putin and others. And hopefully they all want to end this nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a horrible thing. When you look, I get pictures every week. They give me the pictures of the battlefield, which I almost don't want to see. It's so horrible. It's young people laying arms and legs.
Storming Trump Tower is crazy.
It
It
is.
is.
Over the field. It's the most terrible thing that you'll ever see. And it's got to stop. These are young people with mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and friends. And
It never would have happened if I was president,
it's gotta
right?
Stop. So we hopefully are going to be in a good position sometime today to have a good idea. We'll have, we know where we are with Ukraine, and we are getting good signals outside of Russia as to where we are with Russia. And hopefully they'll do the right thing.
Great.
It's really humanity. We're talking about humanity. We're not talking about the money. But then you add the money to it, and you know, hundreds of billions of dollars is being spent and really wasted so unnecessarily. It should have never happened. So it's an honor to have
There it
you
is.
here. They picked a great gentleman. I'll tell you, I was so happy to hear this. You had somebody, Stoltenberg was really good, and you have somebody that's going to do an incredible job. And I was so much in favor of you. You have no idea. They had another person that I did not like. I was not happy. And I think I kept him from, you know what I'm talking about. I said, this is the right man to do it. And he really did. He was a great prime minister of the Netherlands. He did a great job. And that's what he's doing right now. So thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a very great honor to have you. And we even have some of our great energy people here today. We have the governor, and we have Chris. You know Chris. He's supposed to be the most talented man in the world of energy, according to the governor. So I don't know if he's right. But we have General. You've been fantastic. Thank you very much. And we have a lot of good people that won't be so much involved with this, but they wanted to see what was happening. It's become a little bit of a show.
K fucked up COVID massively. Did he? I feel like almost everybody fucked up COVID.
So with that, if anybody would have a question.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry. It was Steve Witkoff's trip to Moscow you spoke about. What sort of agreement would be coming from?
Well, we'd like to see a ceasefire from Russia. And we have
That'd be good.
not been working in the dark. We've been discussing with Ukraine land and pieces of land that would be kept and lost and all of the other elements of a final agreement.
Yeah.
There's a power plant involved, you know, a very big power plant involved. Who's going to get the power plant and who's going to get this and that? And so, you know, it's not an easy process. But phase one is the ceasefire. A lot of the individual subjects have been discussed, though. You know, we've been discussing concepts of land because you don't want to waste time with a ceasefire if if it's not going to mean anything. So we're saying, look, this is what you can get, this is what you can't get. They discussed NATO and being in NATO, and everybody knows what the answer to that is. They've known that answer for 40 years, in all fairness. A lot of the details of the final agreement have actually been discussed.
Okay.
Now we're going to see whether or not
No.
Russia's
Yeah,
there.
I think
and
no.
If they're not, it'll be a very disappointing moment for the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just said he is open to a ceasefire, but he does still have some concerns. He suggested that you two should speak directly. Do you have plans to speak to him soon? If so, when are you confident you can get this across the
Are you going to do
I
it?
did say that today. It was a very promising statement because other people are saying different things, and you don't know if they have anything to really, if they have any meaning, or I don't know. I think some of them were
making shit up.
I don't think they have anything to do with it. No, he put out a very promising statement, but it wasn't complete. And yeah, I'd love to meet with him or talk to him. But we have to get it over with fast. You know, every day people are being killed. It's not like, as we sit here, 2 people will be killed. Think of it. 2 people are going to be killed during this little period of time. Thousands of people a week are dying. So we really don't have very much time. We have to make this fast. It shouldn't be very complicated.
Thank you, Mr. President. A representative of Canada, the finance minister are in town and will meet members of your administration during the day. Any chances that you will ban on the tariffs on aluminum and the ones that are planned for April 2nd?
No.
You are not going to change your
No,
mind?
I'm not. Look, we've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. Aluminum or steel or cars. We're
So
not
he
gonna
gonna-
bend.
yeah,
We've
okay.
been ripped
All right.
off as a
Wow.
country for many, many years. We've
Damn.
been subjected to costs that we shouldn't be subjected
I'm not
to.
surprised, but still.
In the case of Canada,
That's a
we're
lot.
spending $200 million a year to subsidize Canada. I love Canada. I love the people of Canada. I have many friends in Canada. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, the great. Hey, how good is Wayne Gretzky? He's the great one. But we have, I know many people
For sure.
in Canada that are good friends of mine. But, you know, the United States can't subsidize a country for $200 billion a year.
Nothing like it, yeah.
Their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. We don't need anything that they give. We do it because we want to be helpful, but it comes a point when you just can't do that. You have to run your own country. And to be honest with you, Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have.
I guess that's
As a
true.
state, it would be one of the great states
Yeah.
anyway. This would be the most incredible
I
country
mean, shit,
visually.
guys.
If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the U.S. Just
There
a
it
little
is,
straight
dude. Yeah,
line.
for sure.
Somebody did it a long time ago, many, many decades ago, and makes no sense. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state. Keeping "Oh Canada," the national anthem. I love it. I think it's great. Keep it. But it'll be for the state, one of our greatest states. Maybe our greatest state. But why should we subsidize another country for $200 billion? It costs us $200 billion a year. And again, we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We have more than they do. We don't need their cars. I'd much rather make the cars here.
Bro, it's
And there's not a thing.
That's the best
Now, there'll be
state.
disruption,
not only is it going to be a state, it's going to be the best state.
but they need us. We
All
really
right.
need them. And we have to do this. I'm
That's
sorry.
great.
We have to do this, yes.
How about that?
Made it very clear that NATO needs to step up. Although great progress has been made the first mandate, how do you envision this new transatlantic?
You talking about NATO stepping up? Well, NATO is stepping up for this man. This man is a man that only knows how to step up.
Wow, what a
We have
nice
the
guy.
same goal in mind. We want the war ended. And he's doing his job. He only knows how to do a good job.
That's it.
Fought for him to
Damn,
get that job.
that's impressive.
Because they had some other candidates that I'll tell you would not have done a very good job.
So he's saying they're retarded.
Off the move for my family.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get him a clip of that little last statement. The rest of the statements he doesn't care.
How does this new transatlantic cooperation, how do you envision it?
Well, we have. That's one thing. I mean, you know, we're on the other side of the ocean,
Yeah.
and they're right there.
There's a lot of
And
water.
yet we're in for $350 billion because of Biden, and they're in for $100 billion. So it's a big difference. And it's unfair. And I said, you have to equalize. They should equalize. They should have. It should have never happened where Biden just gave this money away. Now, as you know, we have an agreement with Ukraine on the.
Could you replace Trump with a soundboard?
That'll get us something back. A lot
I
back.
feel like you could.
Our money back. We're not doing it for
Yes.
that, though. We're doing. I'm just doing
Oh
this
my
to
God.
I'm doing it really to save lives, but at the same
Yeah.
time, we were treated very unfairly, as we always are by every country. And we're in for very substantially more than the European nations are in for, and that shouldn't be. You know, they're much more affected by it than we are. We do have an ocean in between. But I don't know. I think good things are going to
Okay.
happen.
All right, I'm not
I
going to
think
do that
good things
again.
are going to happen. I do say we were talking
I'm an idiot.
before, and Mark was very nice. He said if you would get involved, there would be nothing. You just
There's
be
ants on my
going
desk.
on. This thing would have gone on for a long
Oh, there
time.
were ants on my desk.
Yeah, we broke a deadlock. We did break a deadlock. I hope it's meaningful. Yes, did you have a
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'm Anna Head with Just the News. On the southern border, you've got DHS
Yeah.
and ICE who are reporting that there was a little bit of fudging of numbers during the Biden administration on both the catch and the release side with respect to reporting
For
the number
fish,
of
right?
people coming into the
They
country
cheated
who
on the
were
numbers. They were the numbers. I love that question. Who you with? Very nice.
Just the news.
No, Biden fudged the numbers. The numbers were totally fake.
Biden is lying about everything. Yep, I knew it.
Numbers. I knew they were fake. Everybody knew they were fake, but now it came out. And
Naturally.
it's terrible what
Yep.
they did. That administration was a horror show for this country.
Exactly.
Can you hold anyone accountable?
Well, I don't know. They gave phony numbers.
Yeah, true.
and
Holding people
phony
accountable is what
numbers are a very
matters.
bad thing to give, but I'm not sure about that. I
It's
don't know
F?
how
It's
it
A.
would
It's for
play.
EU.
We
It's
wanna
because
get
of the
it
tariffs.
straightened out. We have.
You guys are
we're
tariffed on the
after
stream.
Many bad people that were let into our
10% of it's
country,
F
and,
now.
Christy Nome and
It's just
my
fair.
friend Homan. How good is Tom Homan doing, right? And they're after him, and I mean, you see, they're taking him out in record numbers. Gang
Get 'em out.
members, gang leaders, drug dealers. This is a problem the Netherlands does not have. The Netherlands never had this problem. If you'd like to take it, I could deliver some people.
Yeah.
I could deliver some nice people to the Netherlands.
Oh, wait, we're gonna send all the drug dealers over there? Okay.
What he did to this country, letting 21
All right.
people go through an open border. Many
Never thought of
those
that.
people were hard criminals from prisons and jails, from mental institutions, and I always say insane asylums.
My drug
because
dealer
they
was
were
shot last
seriously
week.
deranged,
That sucks.
and they're here from not South America, from all over the world. From South America, but from all over the world.
Change your
And
number
it's
before the police find his
It's
phone.
so sad. You'd say, why would anybody do this? Why? Yeah, go ahead.
And one more, there's some new internal Democrat polling that doesn't look great for Democrats, but it also has 54% unfavorability for Republicans in swing states and battlegrounds for the midterms. Do you consider those voters capturable for Republicans?
Yeah, well, we did, I won every swing state, as you know, by a lot. And I won the popular vote by a lot. And we won the counties. If you look at the counties and district plan, we had 2,725, and they had 501.
So true.
That's why the
That's
map
a
is
lot.
all red.
Wow.
So we had a great thing. Yeah, I think winning from the Democrats, I saw, if you look the other night, I made a speech, and I introduced two young ladies who were killed, viciously, violently killed. Young, unbelievable, both outstanding people. They were killed by illegal aliens. And the Democrats wouldn't get up and applaud. The mothers were, inconsolable. They were crying, and everybody
Well,
was
yeah, I would
crying.
assume that.
The
You should make a
Democrats sat there
soundboard.
with
I should do a
stone
soundboard
faces.
for
They didn't
this.
clap, they didn't stand, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We had a young man with.
That wasn't what she asked about?
His dream is to be with the police department someday, and he was introduced. They didn't even clap. I mean, they were disgusting. Frankly, they were disgusting. There's something wrong with them. They're deranged. They're deranged, like Jack Smith. They're deranged people. And I never saw anything like it. I'm standing up and I introduced the mother and the parents of these two young girls.
I'm not disagreeing a whole lot there.
Killed. Violently.
Let's be honest.
And the Democrats, like this. It's so sad. And I saw it this morning where one of them is pretty well known. One is arguing, fighting like crazy over men being able to play in women's sports. I said, yeah, I thought that was tried. I thought that was about a 95. I think it's a 95% issue.
I wish it was.
In a way, I want them to keep doing it because I don't think they can win a race.
It's only 80.
Republicans, I said, don't bring that subject up because there's no election right now. But about a week before the election, bring it up because you can't lose. And everything's transgender, this, transgender, that. You know, it's
everybody's transgender now.
One thing, they stick together. I wish the Republicans stick together.
Even the mice are transgender.
Are grandstanders. They always have grandstanders in life. But the Democrats, they have grandstanders, but when it comes to a vote, they do stick together, right?
So, if they'll stick together on the shutdown, will that hurt Democrats going into midterms?
Well, if they do a shutdown, and ultimately that might lead to very, very high taxes, because we're talking about a shutdown, we're talking about getting to work immediately on the greatest tax bill ever passed. That was the one we did. It was a renewal, and it's an addition to it. And we're going to cut people's taxes. And if we don't open, the Democrats are stopping all of these good things that we're providing. We're providing the greatest package of benefits that this country's ever provided. The biggest part of that's going to be tax cuts for the middle class and for businesses, small businesses, employers, people that hire people in jobs. And if it's shut down, it's only going to be, if there's a shutdown, it's only because...
Why are eggs still expensive? No, they got patched out. They patched it out like yesterday.
President, on tariffs, you made clear you're not backing down from this, but many American small business owners say they are concerned that these tariffs are going to hurt them. What's your message to them?
They're going to be so much richer than they are right now, and we have many. Yesterday, General Motors was in. They want to invest $60 billion. The people from Facebook were in yesterday. They're going to invest $60 billion by the end of the year. Other people are talking about numbers. Apple, as you know, a few days ago announced $500 billion investment. They're going to build their plants in the United States.
You had all these numbers up. That's a lot of fucking money.
Almost all of their plants are in China. Now they're building in the United States. Look, the reason is two things. Number one, the election, November 5th. And the other thing is tariffs. I think probably in that order. But Tim Cook came in and he announced 500.
Who's that?
Think of it, 500 billion, not million. 500 million's a lot when you think about it, right? But, well, I would have been happy with 500 million, but it's $500 billion investment by Apple.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of money.
States. And that's because of the election result, and it's because of the tariffs and the tax incentives too. You know, tariffs and tax incentives. And I've never seen anything like it. We have plants going up now in Indiana. We have plants going up in Michigan. A lot of plants going to be planned from. I'm trying to steer to Michigan because Michigan got so badly beaten by.
It's an assload of plants.
You know what happened with Europe. You know, if you look at Europe, take a look at the EU.
Yep.
We're not allowed to sell cars there. It's prohibitive because of their policies and also their non-monetary tariffs. That's. They put obstacles in your way that you can do nothing about. But if you take a look at what happens, so we sell no cars to Europe. I mean, virtually no cars. And they sell millions of cars to us. They don't take our agriculture, we take their agriculture. It's like a one-way street with them. The European Union is very, very nasty. They sue our companies. Apple was forced to pay $16 billion on a case that, very much like my cases that I won. They shouldn't have been even cases.
Fake.
But we felt they had no case, and they ended up having an extremely favorable judge and decision. But they're suing Google, they're suing Facebook, they're suing all of these companies, and they're taking billions of dollars out of American companies, many more than the ones I just mentioned.
I think these companies need more oversight and regulation.
Something. I don't know what they're using it for, but they treat us very badly. China obviously treats us very badly. Almost everybody does, and I blame past presidents, to be honest.
Which one?
Because when I was president, we received so far about $700 billion from China over the years on the tariffs that I put in. No other president got 10 cents.
So I was just curious, right? Who could it be?
And that was only beginning, except for COVID. I would have been able to finish the process. But we had to fight the COVID thing, and we did really well with it, but we had to fight. And then we had actually, as you remember, Mark, we actually handed over the stock market. It was higher than just previous to COVID coming in, which was sort of a miracle, frankly. We did a good job. But the tariffs are very important. And I think the psychology, there's great spirit. When Mark came in, he said, congratulations, there's a whole new spirit, there's a whole new light over this country, and really over the world. Because you have somebody a whole group of people, really, because I talk about
what was the
this
question?
whole group that we know what
it
we're
was
doing,
why is Biden stupid and why are you better than
but
Biden?
I've never seen investment like this. Trillions of dollars is being invested in the United States now that would have never, our country could have failed. Another 4 years of this, what happened in the last 4 years, our country would have been a crime-ridden mess. And I don't know if you noticed, little thing they call it, but it's not a little thing if you don't have, if you like eggs and you don't have a lot of money. Eggs have gone down 25% in the last couple of weeks. We inherited that problem, eggs. Groceries have gone down a little bit.
That's new
Energy's
chickens.
gone down. Do you want to speak to that for a second?
Respawned a bunch of
Governor,
chickens.
would you just say a couple of words, you and Chris, about energy, what's happening?
Tons of bonus
But
chickens.
I think that Chris and I just came from CERAWeek, which is the largest conference in the world. So global leaders, people from the EU, officials from all the energy producing countries, all there, and all the global nationals, all the U.S. The spirit of that group is through the roof because now they realize that in the United States that President Trump's policies are pro developing more energy, as opposed to we're trying to shut down energy, and that pro-growth, pro-business, pro-energy approach is giving people the optimism. So then the markets are reacting to that, and energy prices on the futures market are going to go down because people know we're not going to be killing off the energy we need for prosperity in all of our countries, but also for peace. Because people have used energy to fuel these wars that President Trump is working so hard to end. And we know that high energy prices were driving the inflation that he talked about. So it accomplishes two goals for us, which is prosperity for the world, peace for the world, when we have smart energy policies. And President Trump has brought common sense back to how we think about energy.
And it's brought down now $65 a barrel, I saw this morning. That's phenomenal news. And that's going to bring, that's what brought it up. The energy went, they took our beautiful energy policies and they just messed them up. And then they went immediately back to them but by that time they lost it. They lost that bronco, as the expression goes. Chris, do you have something to say?
Oh, I think Doug said it well, but you just can't overstate how important the return of common sense, the return of knowledge about energy and pro-American consumers, pro-investment in our country. I think globally that was welcome. It means capital flows, it means more sobriety and lower energy prices, more economic opportunity for Americans. So yeah, it laid an atmosphere at a global energy conference.
Well, we're working on one project. It should be very easy. It's a pipeline going through a small section of New York. New York's held it up for years, actually, for years. They wanted to do it for years and years. And it will reduce the most expensive energy cost in the world is in New England because they have no way of getting it there because it's been held up by New York. And the whole of New England and Connecticut.
They have to use the New York energy for the illegal migrants.
This one pipeline will save per family $2,500 just on heating and another $2,500 on everything else.
Yeah.
So the energy by just a simple pipeline going through an area that wants it.
Just how it is.
An area that's not a rich area. It's actually a very poor area with great jobs and everything else. And it's going to be way underground. Nobody's going to see it. Once they fill it up, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know it's there. And families in New York and Connecticut and New England are going to save $5,000 a family. Think of that. Because right now they have the highest energy prices maybe in the world.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a lot.
It's a disaster.
Seems a little bit unrealistic.
In fact, the governor's coming in, Governor of New York, Kathy.
Let's see about that.
Very nice woman. She's coming in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock to meet me on that and other things. Not only that, but other things. So I hope we don't have to use the extraordinary powers of the federal government to get it done. But if we have to, we will. But I don't think we'll have to. I can tell you Connecticut wants it and all of New England wants it. And who wouldn't want it? And it's also jobs on top of everything else. So that's going to be very exciting. So we're meeting with the governor tomorrow morning.
We'll see what happens.
Greenland. What is your vision for the potential
Well, that's a good
annexation
question.
of Greenland and getting them potentially to... Well, I think it'll
Yeah.
happen, and I'm just thinking, I didn't give it much thought before, but I'm sitting with a man that could be very instrumental. You know, Mark, we need that for international security, not just security, international. We have a lot of our favorite players cruising around the coast, and we have to be careful. And we'll be talking to you. It's a very appropriate, really a very appropriate question.
So the Arctic, what you did. So when it comes to Greenland, yes or not joining the US, I would leave that outside for me this discussion because I don't want to drag NATO.
He doesn't want to get involved.
When it comes to the
That's
high
smart.
north and the Arctic, you are totally right.
Very good idea.
The Chinese are now using these routes. We know that the Russians are rearming. We know we have a lack of icebreakers. So the fact that the seven outside Russia, there are seven Arctic countries working together on this is very important to ensure that that region, that part of the world stays safe. And we know things are changing there, and we have to be there.
Well, we just had an election there the other day. Do you see a referendum, a plebiscite, where the people of Greenland would be in a
Yeah,
position...
didn't the right-wing party win in Greenland like very recently, a couple days ago or something?
Yeah, it was a good
Or today?
election for us, as you know.
Yeah.
Not a referendum. It wouldn't be called that. It was an individual
That's what I
election.
thought.
The person that did the best is a very good person.
Republican Party's anti-American?
And
I mean, they're Greenland.
we'll be talking about
Makes
it,
sense.
and it's very important. Mark mentioned the word icebreaker, so we've ordered, we're in the process of ordering 48 icebreakers. And
Fuck.
Canada wants to know if they could use them. I said, well, you know, you got to pay for them. Think
Yeah.
we pay for their military. You know, Canada pays very little for their military because they think we're going to protect them. But even with the icebreakers, so we're going to order 48. And Canada wants to be part of the deal. I say, you got to get your own icebreakers.
Damn.
And if you're a state, you can be part of the deal. But if you're a separate country, you need to get your own icebreakers. Russia, as you know, has
He's
about
really
40
pushing
of them.
this.
And we have one.
I thought this was like a joke the first time he said it.
It's becoming very important.
Yeah.
The routes are
He's going on about this for a bit.
to Asia.
He's not kidding, yeah.
Russia, and you have ships all over the place, and we have to have protection. So we're going to have to make a deal on that. And Denmark is not able to do that. You know, Denmark's very far away, and really has nothing to do. What happens? A boat landed there 200 years ago or something, and they say they have rights to it. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it is, actually. But we've been dealing with Denmark, we've been dealing with Greenland, and we have to do it. We really need it for national security. I think that's why NATO might have to get involved in a way, because we really need Greenland for national security. It's very important. You know, we have a couple of bases on Greenland already, and we have quite a few soldiers, and maybe you'll see more and more soldiers go there. I don't know. What do you think about that, Pete? So, don't answer that, Pete. Don't answer that question. But we have bases, and we have quite a few soldiers on Greenland.
Simple question: your commitment to NATO. Will anything change? Your commitment to NATO. Will anything change? Same amount of money.
Well, I think they made a great step by putting Mark in charge.
Oh my
To me,
God.
that's a great step because he and I have seen eye to eye on everything for a long time. We've been doing this a long time now.
What?
And so that's a great step.
Oh my God. How does this happen?
The biggest thing
North American Union is real. I guess so. I don't even know what to say.
This was a fluke. This was something that if we had a competent
my
president,
God.
it would not have happened. The man was grossly incompetent. All you have to do is take a look at he signs by AutoPen.
Yeah.
Who was signing all this stuff by AutoPen?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I heard that.
Important documents by AutoPen.
Yeah, he's using DocuSign.
You know, these are major documents. You're signing. You're proud.
President
to sign,
using
you have your
He's
signature or
sponsored by
something. In
DocuSign.
300 years, they say, "Oh, look." Can you imagine? Everything was signed by AutoPen. Almost everything. Nobody's ever heard of such a thing. So, should have never happened.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
the Justice Department about law and order. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're going to be with the Justice Department. We have a great Justice Department. Pam Bondi is so fantastic, and Todd Blanche and Amo. You got to know him a little bit. He was acting for a little while. And some other people are incredible in the Justice Department, and I consider the FBI to be a part of it in a sense, and Cash is going to be fantastic, and all the people. He's Dan Bongino, I love that. I mean, I love that. I think
Well, that's the
Dan is
guy.
great.
He used to stream.
I think we have unbelievable people. And all I'm going to do is set out my vision. It's going to be their vision, really, but it's my ideas. And basically, we don't want to have crime in the streets. We don't want to have
His last name's
people
Friday, by
pushed
the way?
into
Really?
subways and killed. And
That's
then
nuts.
The person that did the pushing ends up in a 15-year trial and gets off scot-free. We want to have justice, and we want to have safety in our cities as well as our communities. And we'll be talking about immigration. We'll be talking about a lot of things. The complete gamut. So I look forward to that. That'll be tomorrow at the Justice Department.
Oh boy.
He said it several times, and he made it very clear. A man of peace dealing with belligerent people. And I'm thinking, we saw you handled Zelensky in this very young room. What is your leverage on Putin? Are you thinking sanctions? What if he refuses to
This is
I do
sanctions,
have leverage,
obviously.
but I don't want to talk about leverage.
Yeah.
Because right now we're talking to him, and based on the statements he made today.
Yeah, he
they
don't
were
want to go
pretty
and say
positive,
that.
I think. So I don't want to talk about that.
Most peaceful
I hope
president? I
Russia's
guess
gonna,
so.
Make the deal too. And I think once that deal happens, you're never going to be in a process.
We're
I
sending
think they're going
soldiers
back
to
shooting
Greenland.
Again. I really believe if we had if we get a peace treaty, a ceasefire treaty, I think that leads to peace. That's going to really lead to peace. I don't think anyone wants to go back.
Most
They've been
peaceful.
doing this for a long time, and it's vicious and violent. And I think if President Putin agrees and does a ceasefire, I think we're going to be in very good shape to get it done. We want to get it over with. That's why it was very important what I instructed everybody, including Steve, what we're looking for, to discuss concepts of land, concepts of power plants, because it's complicated. You know, you have a whole, you're sort of creating the edge of a country. The sad part is that country, if they did,
Trump said he isn't considering pardoning Daring Chauvin.
didn't happen,
Good.
and it wouldn't have happened, I don't know if they would have to give anything back. I guess Crimea, you know, I said it last time, Crimea was given by Obama. Biden gave him the whole thing, and Bush gave him Georgia. And Trump didn't give him anything. I gave him, you know what I gave him? I gave him javelins. And the javelins were very effective, as you know. I gave him nothing.
2019.
And then also, if you take a look, I was the one that stopped the pipeline going into Europe. It was totally stopped. Nord Stream 2, nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2 before I came along. But,
It was like some Russian pipeline or some shit.
I get along great with President Xi. I got along great with Kim Jong-un. I got along great with all of them. And
all right.
We had no wars, we had no problems. We wiped out ISIS in record time.
Yep.
General Raisin came and he wiped them out, and he was going to be our new chief, right? He's going to be the head of Joint Chiefs.
Is that actually his name, or is Trump just saying that?
Respected man. He's going to be great. Pete's going to be fantastic. I have no doubt about it. We have a great team, really great team. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's actually, yeah, I have no idea. It's a nickname.
They could be the next to be attacked by Russia. You've spoken directly with the Russian president. Do you think those fears are justified?
No, I don't. I think when this gets done, it's done. They're going to all want to go home and rest. I don't see it happening. Nope, I don't see that happening. And we'll make sure it doesn't happen. Not going to happen, but we'll make sure it doesn't happen. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Leaders from Russia and Iran are heading to Beijing tomorrow to discuss nuclear programs. What do you hope about?
Well, maybe they're going to talk about non-nuclear programs. Maybe they're going to be talking about the de-escalation of nuclear weapons, because, you know, I was talking about that with President Putin very strongly. And we could have done something had that election not been rigged. We would have had something. I think I would have made a deal with Putin on de-escalation.
Surely, gentlemen.
As they say.
Yep.
We would have de-escalated nuclear weapons, because the power of nuclear weapons is so great, it's so devastating. And Right now, Russia and us have by far the most, but China will catch us within 5 years. China doesn't have, but they're in the process.
Why do they need that many bombs if they can already blow up the whole world?
Within 4 or 5 years, they'll probably have.
Yeah, I feel like at that point.
This is a Republican tradition. Ronald Reagan,
Yeah.
he negotiated with Gorbachev in the 1980s about bringing
To sell them? Sell them to North Korea.
Have been doing your first term, but it is important.
It would be a great achievement if we could bring down the number. We have so many weapons and the power is so great. And number one, you don't need them to that extent. And then we'd have to get others because, as you know, in a smaller way, Kim Jong-un has a lot of nuclear weapons, by the way, a lot. And others do also. You have India, you have Pakistan, you have others that have them. And we'd get them involved. But we started off with Russia and us. We were by far the most. And we were going to denuclearize, and that was going to happen. And then we were going to China, and I spoke to China. I spoke to President Xi about it, and he really liked the idea. You know, like not to spend trillions of dollars building weapons, and hopefully he's never going to have to use. And because they are very expensive, also. So that would have been great. Okay, one or two more.
All right.
We're looking at impending government shutdown Friday midnight.
Oh, geez, they're doing this again?
30 years straight have said if there's a shutdown, bad things happen. Do you anticipate direct negotiations yourself with conference leader of the Democrats, Chuck Schumer?
If they need me, I'm there 100%. Right now, it's 2 or 3 people. If it shuts down, it's not the Republicans' fault. You know, we passed a bill where we had an incredible Republican vote. We only had 1 negative vote.
Yeah, the government being shut down. Yeah, I don't think so.
It was always a grandstand.
It's a term, you know?
But it was amazing. People were amazed that the Republicans were able to vote in unison like that, so strongly. If there's a shutdown, even the Democrats admit it'll be their fault. And I'm hearing a lot of Democrats are going to vote for it, and I hope they do. This is an extension. But ultimately, we want to vote for one big, beautiful bill where we put the taxes in, we put everything in.
All right.
We're going to have big tax cuts. We're going to have tremendous incentives for companies coming into our country and employing lots of people. It'll
Big, beautiful, yep, true.
I called it, in a rare moment, one big, beautiful bill. That's what I like, and it seems to be that's where they're heading. And we'll have to take care of something to do with Los Angeles. A place called Los Angeles almost burned to the ground. By the way, I broke into Los Angeles. Can you believe it? I had a break in. I invaded Los Angeles, and we opened up the water. And the water is now flowing down. They have so much water, they don't know what to do. They were sending it out to the Pacific for environmental reasons.
Please bring up the fish.
Okay, can you believe it? And in the meantime, they lost 25,000 houses.
Come on.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. But we
всеми
have the
здесь
water.
последний раз
Show
пляж
you
таки
a picture.
выпляют.
You've seen the picture. The
Нету
water is
больше
flowing through the
Ой, я
half
не
pipes. You
видел.
know, we have the big half pipes.
He banned the fires. They're no longer allowed in
25
LA.
years ago, they used to have plenty of water.
Yeah,
but
they're
they turned
illegal
it
now.
off for environmental reasons. Well, I turned it on for environmental reasons and also fire reasons. But and I've been asking them to do that during my first term. I said, do it. I didn't think anything could happen like this, but they didn't have enough water. Now the farmers are going to have water for their land, and the water is in there. But I actually had to break in. We broke in to do it because we had people that were afraid to give water. They were, in particular, they were trying to protect a certain little fish. And I said, how do you protect the fish if you don't have water?
Just
They
like
didn't
what
have
I
any water,
said.
So they're protecting a fish. And that didn't work out too well, by the way. So
You knew it was going to happen.
a lot of water
You
going
did.
down throughout California, all coming out from the
Everybody knew
Pacific
this was gonna
Northwest,
happen.
Even some from Canada. Thank you, Canada, very much. I appreciate it. Next thing you know, they'll want to turn the water off. They want to charge us for the water. But it comes up from the Pacific Northwest, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, it is brimming with water. Now, if they would have had that done, you wouldn't have had the damage because the fire would have been put out. The fire hydrants would have been loaded. The sprinklers in people's living rooms and bedrooms would have been loaded up with it. They had no water. The government makes them put sprinklers, and they had no water in the sprinklers because they had no water. So the water is flowing, and we're going to have to give a lot of money to Los Angeles to help them.
Surely.
And the Democrats are going to want to do that. So that's the one thing different. And frankly, I think that makes it a lot easier. But one of the big thing is we have the big, beautiful bill. We got to get that done. And that will put our country in a position like it's never been. It's a reduction.
I don't know if they're going to shut down the government. Probably not going to happen, right? Yeah, seems unlikely.
From all over the world into our country. It's great environmentally, but it's not this environmental scam that we went through, that we all went through. It provides for everything. It's a big, beautiful bill, and I hope we can get it approved, and that'll be next. But in the meantime, we have the continuing resolution, and the Republicans have approved it, and now the Democrats have to approve it. And I hope they will. And I think a lot of them, I can tell you, they want to. I've spoken to some of them. They really want to. Their leadership may not want them to. And if it closes, it's purely on the Democrats. One more?
Yes, sir. We've seen tension increasing in the peninsula. You've talked
Do you
about
think
Kim
you'll be able to
Jong-un.
maintain the peace?
Do you have
Well, I
any
don't
plans
know.
of getting, re-establishing the relationship you had during the
possible.
Well, I would. I had a great relationship with Kim Jong-un, North Korea. If I wasn't elected, if Hillary got in, you would have had a nuclear war with North Korea. He expected it. He expected it. And they said, oh, thousands of people. No, millions of people would have been killed.
That's a lot.
But I got in. We went to Singapore, we met. We went to Vietnam, we met. We got along really good. We had a very good relationship, and we still do. We still do. You don't have that threat that you had. I mean, look, when I was running the first time,
with Kim Jong-un? Okay.
You know that better than
Tensions
me.
were high.
Yeah, and
Everybody
it started off.
was startled that you invited him for talks.
Right.
You did.
It started off very rough, and he wouldn't meet with Obama, wouldn't take his calls. I said, how many times did you call? They called a lot. He wouldn't take their call. He told me I wouldn't take his call. But with me, it did start off rough, if you remember. Very rough, actually, very nasty.
There was a Singapore.
And but then
so you said he's gonna bomb him.
Then it stopped. The rhetoric was extremely tough. It was.
You had
it was a little
speech in
bit.
UN, I remember.
Yeah, that's right. It was a little bit dangerous. And then we met. They asked for a meeting, and we met. And the meeting caused the Olympics, which was in South Korea, to become a tremendous success. Nobody was buying tickets for the Olympics because they didn't want to be nuked. And I met, and not only did the Olympics become successful, but North Korea participated in the Olympics.
His sister visited.
It was an amazing thing.
Did they really?
And that
I
was
didn't even know
something
that.
was an achievement. of
Imagine
the
what
Trump
happens if you
administration.
lose.
Great achievement. And
yeah, I'd be worried.
so I have a great relationship with Kim Jong-un, and we'll see what happens. But certainly he's a nuclear power. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you very much.
They all won medals. Check it out. Did they really? Damn, good for them. Wow. Well, there it is. The content president. As I said, bro, he streams more than most streamers. He does a lot. I'm waiting for Trump to say North Korea, wonderful people, wonderful, that our American friends, democratic countries in the world. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, man. I got a pretty good feeling it might not.
Just
Sorry to say. But yeah, there it is. And yeah, wow. Well, we're annexing Greenland. We're going to be sending troops over to Greenland. I think this is a, you know, really not a surprise at all. I would kind of expect this, but yeah, we're going to be annexing and taking over Greenland, which is nice to see. It's another new place for us to have, expand the empire, take over more countries. You guys know how it is. And so, yeah, great. There it is, live stream president. I guess so, right?
До встречи. Приветствую. Я польщена. Приветствую. Удачи, друг. Прощай. Храни тебя богиня. Добрый день.
Let's go.
Томми Версетти? Черт, не думал, что он выйдет.
Пока он сидел, люди о нем подзабыли.
На память мигом вернется, стоит ему показать нос на улицах. Это убытки для бизнеса.
Но что нам делать, Сони?
Примем как старого друга, дадим дельце вне города, ясно? Мы же хотели расширяться на юг.
Охренеть, озвучка крутая.
Просто золотая жила. Колумбийцы, мексиканцы, блин, даже беженцы кубинские. И те урвали себе лакомый кусочек.
Но это же наркота, Сони. Семьи не будут ей мараться.
Мир изменился. Нельзя семьям воротить нос, пока враги срывают банк. Короче, пусть кто-то за нас сделает грязную работу, а мы заявимся на все готовенькое. Кто там у нас есть?
Кен Розенберг, чмошный адвокатишка. Ему Версетти не удержать.
А и не надо. Мы спустим Томми с цепи, дадим малость бабок на раскрутку. А через пару месяцев заедем проведать. Глянем, что да как дело идет.
Эй, парни, меня Кен Розенберг звать. Привет, очень рад. Так, я отвезу вас навстречу. Вот. Я говорил с поставщиками, и тем очень не терпится начать деловые отношения, так что, если все выгорит, нам светят солидные прибыли, что сами понимаете. Здорово! Так, немножко про них. Они братья, значит, один меняет...
Чего осуждаете? Там подбор был? Осуждаю. Я хотел найти рубашку из GTA, но просто не нашел ее. Обидненько, на самом деле, вышло.
Так, вот и их вертолет. В общем, смотрите. Они хотят все по-быстрому на открытой местности. Оформим? Ну, вперед! Не расслабляемся!
Надо подождать. Произнести это заклинание. Я не готова применить это заклинание. Надо подождать.
Опа. Я потом
Принес чистейший, первосортный колумбийский, дружище. Дай гляну. Чё по баксам? Десятки, двадцатки, не новые. Лады, жмякнем по рукам, дружище. Твою мать!
Хотя озвучили хорошо, реально.
Гони, рвем когти!
О, да! Тихо. Революшн Тим.
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
GTA Vice City. Карта Артешин. График дизайн Стюарт Петри. Вехал дизайнер Пэл Куровский. Идмак Макью. Только, блядь, кто это писал, сука?
Блять, пиздец, как это реально прочитать? Не получается нихуя. Yo, Russian game, coming from USA.
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание. Надо подождать. Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Ля, красивенько. Ладно, давай играть.
Меня секундочку. Высунуть нос из канавы, как жизнь тут же швыряет мне в морду лопату дерьма.
Иди-ка выспись.
Давай.
А ты что делать будешь?
Заеду завтра к тебе в офис и подумай.
Сука, какой плюс
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
и вышел. Так, если шоу понимали, это Definite Edition, это фанатский мод. Next Gen, или как там называется? Next Edition. Здесь движок Rage.
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Но слушайте, пока из того, что я вижу, но выглядит как минимум это лучше, чем Definite
для
Edition.
срочного сообщения. Власти штата уведомляют, что все мосты и некоторые дороги городской агломерации...
Они радио озвучили!
...закрыты из-за штормового предупреждения. Метеорологические службы пристально следят за ураганом Гермиона, который уже прошелся разрушительным валом по 5 Карибским островам и в данный момент направляется к нашему городу. Мы будем держать вас в курсе ситуации.
Они озвучили...
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
Они людей на улице слышали?
Но слава богу, что у нас есть блок. От блока микробы бегут как от чумы. Пока ваш ребенок в ванне, бросьте в воду пару ложечек и ждите результат. Раз, два и готово. Если защипало, значит микробам кранты. Теперь ваш вождь краснокожих на 100% защищен от микробов. А значит, малютка Джимми больше не заболеет простудой и не станет выпытывать, откуда берутся дети. А еще блок уберет неприятный запах у вашего шарика.
Блин, что за пиздец?
Мирный сон и никаких микробов. Блок одобрен обществом «Чистая Америка» и использует патентованный состав, разработанный Пентагоном для...
Нет, это не Быков, это не Охлобыстин.
в каждый дом.
У Охлобыстина другой голос немножко.
Одни микробы боятся кислоты, другие спирта, а плод добьет выживших.
Так я на стриме играл Definite Edition. Нет, это лучше как будто.
Тебя под кроватью. Чем революцию устраивать, устрою потом уборку.
Подозреваете, что ваш ребенок заразился марксизмом? Если он читает сложные книжки, сочувствует ближним или, о ужас, любит делиться, будьте начеку. Пускай все дети зарубят себе на носу. Если незнакомый дядя сует им листовку о защите природы, зовет на митинг рабочих, или хоть немного сомневается в справедливости нашей страны, срочно зови учительницу или полицейских.
Рассвет ФМ. Мы говорим, какие песни любить, и крутим их, пока не полюбите.
Так, ладно, ребят, что-то мне кажется, мы будем проходить GTA Vice City полностью. Нет такого ощущения?
Привет, Соня.
Томми, сколько зим? Знаю, переизбыток чувств.
15 лет, а как шустро пролетели.
Ну, смотря для кого.
Эй, сидеть за семью — это тяжкий труд. Но и семья тебя не забывает. Ну, как там сделка? Добыл белое золото?
Голос знакомый, кстати, у озвучки.
Нас подставили, Соня. Была засада.
У этого тоже.
Убили.
Ты не шути так, Томми! Бабки еще у тебя!
Нет, Соня. У меня нет бабок.
Это были мои бабки, Томми! Мои бабки!
Только уходит так долго резко, это просто пиздец.
Ты мне мозги не вкручивай, Томми, а то я сам тебе так вкручу!
Тони, постой. Слово даю, все бабки я тебе верну. И порошок, и члены этих уродов почтой вышлю.
Да, не сомневаюсь. Ты парень не глупый, но имей в виду, и я не дурак.
Нихуя себе, что в
на
мешочке?
твоем месте давным-давно кормил бы рыб. Но раз это ты, старый знакомый, позволю тебе все уладить.
Соня, я дал тебе слово.
Ну, до связи.
Так, ну что, спать идем? Сохранить игру, давай. Подожди, мне интересно, а вот это радио они тоже перевели? А есть просто треки. Я думаю, что это радио тоже откуда-то взято. Так как спуститься-то вообще вниз? Так. Погнали. Погнали. Кавер на песни еще надо? Не, ну я думаю, кавера песни-то не вряд ли переводили. Кстати, я слышал, кто-то писал, что NPC тоже не озвучены из-за модификации. Но я лично слышал, как кто-то там говорил на русском языке, когда мы садились в машину. Можно даже проверить. Вот, смотри. А нет, реально, смотри. NPC не переведены из-за модификации. Но почему-то где-то это не ломается, а где-то ломается. А, это из радио, все-таки NPC не озвученный. Но это небольшой минус вайп, но давайте все-таки потерпим, я думаю. Я не думаю, что это настолько большой нюанс. Я хочу какие-нибудь радиостанции открыть.
Саундтрек нашего движения. Для меня это настоящий манифесто диаморе, манифест любви. Я Адам Один, и это наша музыка.
Погоди, тот самый чел из ТикТока? Похож был очень. Я просто имя не помню. Наша мьюзик. Так, ладно, давай. Нет, я все, ребят, я наигрался с хранением РП. Теперь я буду гонять их бешеный. Во, сюда здесь. Рассвет ФМ. Так.
Не так. Меня укусила змея, и эта милая леди хотела высосать яд. Она мне не шибко-то поверила.
Радио для смеха и горечи, слез и разбитых сердец, и тоски после разговора с психологом. Emotion 98,3.
Блять. Hello, блядь. Hello, дружищич. Ты чё на меня, алло? Ты знаешь, как меня зовут, дружище? Я Томми Версетти. Вали отсюда, жирный. Это моя дорога. Здесь мой друг работает адвокатом, понял? Не смей здесь кофе пить. Стаканчики выбрасывай. Ты чё, не понял, чмо ебаный? Сказал, пошел нахуй, блядь. Лежать, тыл толстый, блядь. Не вставай, сука. Валяйся тут.
Надо подождать.
А ты чё? А ты чё палишься? Ты чё? Ты нарываешься? Блять, это... Мужик, ты... Господи, мужик, не... Вот это удар, нахуй!
2,5 работает, ничего не работает.
Давай! Ты по мне попасть не можешь, слабак. Бедолага. Надо было, сука, ходить, блядь, на бойцовский... Надо было на борьбу ходить, а не в Макдональдс, идиотина. Что?
Я пока не могу произнести это заклинание.
На, уебище, зря ты это сделала. Как тебе такое? Ай, бля! Сука, блять, король Бикмаков, ебаный. Сука.
Произнести это заклинание.
Блять, сука. Большой шкаф громче падает, сука.
Я не готова применить это заклинание.
На, бля!
Иди-ка выспись, блин! Я в этом кресле просидел всю ночь, хлестал кофе с выключенным светом. Это катастрофа. Мы в такой жопе. Эти гориллы, ты понимаешь, они ведь мне приедут башку рвать. Это сумасшествие. Не для этого я учился на юриста. Слушай, а что мы теперь делать будем? А?
Замолкни, сядь.
Сядь.
И выдох. Делать мы будем вот что.
А это разговор о четверке?
Ты разузнаешь, кто спер кокаин. А я их грохну.
Крутой.
А это мысль. Шикарная мысль. Так, дай подумать.
Это реально Лютик.
Тут есть отставной
Наш адвокат теперь Лютик.
Хуан Гарсия Кортес. Это он помог мне сделку наметить в тайне от здешних авторитетов. Смотри, в порту на его дорогущей яхте сегодня вечеринка. И все серьезные люди в Айсити будут там, ага. Меня пригласили, но как же еще? Но хрена лысого я к ним туда сунусь. Я теперь за дверь не разломлю.
Я сам скажу.
Не похож на Бурунова.
Я моду 70-х, конечно, уважаю, но ты ведь не в пивнуху посидеть.
Профессор Чудаков.
Без обид, но на тебя все будут оглядываться. И вряд ли с восторгом.
Да о чем ты? Что не так-то?
Так, вот он, зайди к Рафаэлю, скажи, что от меня. Он выдаст тебе приличный костюм. Ну все,
Сука, иронично.
Надо подождать.
По-моему, черепашек ниндзя тоже что-то озвучивал, да? Зайди к Рафаэлю.
Что он там о себе возомнил? Мало того, что я с ним цацкаюсь, мне еще и одеваться теперь как клоуну.
Так, погнали.
Сегодня ты и миллионы таких же простаков смогут найти мудрость и взять жизнь в свои руки. Достаточно лишь следовать запатентованной и проверенной программе славнейшего из скандинавских богов Тора.
Ждет клад тебя, Викинг, но тоже работает, и берегись, нет конца их коварству.
Я ебал. Один не
раскрою одной череп.
Кто изменил мою жизнь?
Тор — автор двух бестселлеров в категории саморазвития. Эти рунические тексты перевели на 25 языков мира. Благодаря Тору миллионы смогли зажить, как всегда мечтали.
Не забывай, Один и сын, свой молот волшебный.
Я рот ебал, просто без кнопки ничего не работает.
Покупайте эксклюзивную скандинавскую программу.
Я ебал рот, я нажимал что-то один, он не сработал.
истинных северян.
Не подскажешь?